Yeah, what's up, kings and queens? We're back again. We live, kings and queens. What we're going to do today is react to a whole lot of news that are happening in South Africa. Obviously, starting with our own very case, right? The fact that on his pet's channel, the masterminds, him, her, and Jabs, Gaza Nation, my brother, much respect to my brother out there. I used to feature on his lives on TikTok. I used to have nice, great conversations with Njaps. Now, today they broke some nice news. That the fact that, before we do that, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that when we drop more content like this, you are in the loop. Now, we heard from Sispet and Njaps that Zungu's father, the guy that I reviewed his phony testimony yesterday, in fact, phony affidavit yesterday, which I feel was constructed by Gininda, as it is apparent now from what they are saying that it is crafted by Gininda, not actually by Absalom Zungu. Sekhamogotla, what's up, Queen? Thank you, for popping in. Now, yeah, Mbali, what's up, Mbali? How are you doing, Queen? Thank you, Royalty, for popping in. Now, we heard from Jabs and Sispet that Jabs took his time out and went and consulted with that timer, and then it was found out that he has nothing to do with the statement that's now holding the court. Like this is the statement that's holding everything together, right, for the state at this point. This is the statement that Gininda runs to every time he's questioned about his evidence, his proper evidence for this case. This is the statement that he runs to. Now, the fact that it was crafted by him and Zungu, the young Zungu, the Zungu Jr., is very interesting. It shows us that he was out there by hook or crook. He wanted to blame these guys, whether they did the crime or whether he had the evidence or whether even the people that he's trying to use are agreeing or not. He's going to continue. It is apparent that Zungu, the senior, denied, ever coming through. That is why the state is struggling to pull him through to come as a witness, to bolster their claims that what we're saying about Absalom Zungu is actually true, because here he is. He can stand behind his affidavit, but no, we're having nothing like that. Now it's a matter of now the state trying to, whistle through this information, this affidavit of Absalom Zungu. Since it's hearsay, they're trying to whistle it through technicalities, through the fact that it was brought up by the defense first, through the fact that it was already there. That's what, on what we heard yesterday, what Baloyi was saying, it was, that affidavit was already there when the case started. So they're trying to have it retained in the case based on technicalities, mistakes that are made by the defense, or mistakes that they feel that they can do, or even case law that doesn't even exist. Now, it's amazing that now, very soon we'll be hearing about the statement from Zungu. And I hope those news reporters they stay honest to Jabs and Sispet by presenting the statement, whatever he said as it was, the interview, right, without any doctoring, right. But let's just put our hopes in them. Now, since that thing is going to appear to be the bomb, what is now going to happen to the state's case? And then what is going to happen to the judge? What do you think the state is doing right now? Because I'm damn sure either them or their followers or somebody who's close to them is watching these channels, and they are giving them heads up every time there's something that they have to watch out for. And I'm damn sure that at this point in time, there's something that they're busy with trying to get behind it. Now, let's leave the Meyiwa case a little bit. We come back to it. I wonder just what is going to happen with the state's case, because now, as soon as it appears that this guy is not with them, they've got nothing. And then one thing that they said that caught my attention, that Njapsas said, was when they talked about none of the lawyers have contacted Zungu's father, Absalom Zungu. I was wondering, like, why? Anyway, I don't know. But one thing that I saw on Friday, you see, I believe in just staying true to yourself, right? Staying true to the situation, right? The fact that I saw some see it as comedy, I don't know, but I saw it in a different light. The fact that Msholo was able to use Gininda as a table there while they're in the inspection, look, that didn't sit well with me. And then I started asking myself that I hope we are not being fooled by the lawyers. But now, the fact now that this case is public, they have to stay true. They have to stay true to the world. They have to now fight the true fight. Because if they try anything that will blatantly show that, no, they're not really trying hard, we're going to call them out. Like, rest assured, people are going to call them out. We're going to see it very quick. Now, let's check out this little story that's doing the rounds at this moment. This is about the raid that was done at Hosimampuru, right, by DCS. And then apparently they found a phone with Vusinov. I'll drop my reaction after that. With not Vusinov, sorry man. What am I talking about? With that Matlala, like the cat Matlala, yeah, that guy who's being mentioned by Mr. Mkonasi, General Mkonasi, about the meddling and the guy who was said to have won a tender at some point, and now at this point is in jail. Let's hear what happened during his search of the prison search, right? And then I'll react later. I'll pass my reaction.
Last night, it forms part of a crackdown at jails aimed at rooting out corruption and criminal activities. And he now joins us for more on this. Commissioner, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. I want to start off with one of the stories that we are leading with this morning, is that of Ket Matlala, who is being housed currently at the CMEX section of the Hoshimampuru Correctional Services Center. Can you just quickly explain to us, Commissioner, what informed that rationale?
Well, good morning. Good morning to your viewers. Ket Matlala is at the CMEX Correctional Facility because of a reclassification. He is classified as high risk. But also, secondly, we continue to do searches, especially these types of searches that we did last night. On Sunday morning, we did a surprise search and we found a cell phone in his possession.
This was on Sunday, this past Sunday?
Yes.
And he would have been at which prison at the time?
At that time, he was in a section called local. So that's basically a section that is a section that houses medium to low risk. He was at medium local.
Yeah, and have you been able to ascertain how he was able to get his cell phone into the prison cells, considering that part of the raid as well, we've seen, even with other correctional centers, is that contraband is found on some prisoners?
Well, we are busy with that investigation, and we will, once we are very clear about how it happened, be able to pronounce. But remember, when we find objects like cell phones, and in cases that are high risk like this one, we hand the object over to the South African Police Service. So that is what we have done immediately on the same day.
Yeah. And would this be the work that is being done by the Correctional Center in conjunction with the Political Killings Task Team? Because we understand that the Correctional Service is also one of the supporting entities.
When we do surprise checks independently as the department, we also have joint operations with the South African Police Service.
Let's just stop it right there. I want to now react. I want to react to this story about Mr. Cat, right? Being able to, use the cell phone inside prison. Now, this is a recurring theme. The thing about, contraband, sharp objects, this thing, drugs, whatever, things being found on them, and cell phones being found on prisoners. This is an occurring thing. So I'm not really surprised that they are finding these things. And then now listen to what he's saying. He's telling us that this machine that scans the bodies, there's only about 17 of them in the country. Now think about that. How many prisoners are there? How many prisons are there in South Africa? And then how much money is being lost on, fruitless expenditure, rather than investing on these things to ensure that nobody anymore, or they minimize it. It won't be nobody anymore, but it will be very minimum, since now if they implement that in every cell, in every jail has that body scanner. Every court has that body scanner. When you leave from court as a prisoner, you have to go through the scanner, and then we see everything that's in your stomach. I think they will cut back on crime. Even if there's a visitor coming to do the besouk and stuff like that, there's a scanner that's scanning your body. But now, it's everybody's just doing whatever they want, and they are not applying their minds to that in terms of trying to minimize that. But there's always a problem with the establishment, right? There's always a problem. Like, I want to give you an example now based on the American scene, right? Mr. Trump, who is the president right now, right? Now, I hope you know Jeffrey Epstein, who is the well-known pedophile, who was supposedly a spy for Israel, right? And then he used blackmail, they call it the honeypot schemes. They grab young honeys, young ladies, like it's pedophilia style, and then they take them to that island of his, and then from there they get a prince or a president in a compromising position with that girl, and then they have stuff on you. Now you have to do their bidding. So this kind of now the government, since Trump came in, he said he was gonna release the tape, and even I think they call her Pat Bundy, the secretary or something like that. She said there are tapes. Now 2 days ago, they came through. There are no tapes. Nothing will be released. Even Trump is pissed off when they asked about Jeffrey Epstein. Are you still asking about that guy? Now, we know last week, a few weeks ago, there was a spat between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, which caused Elon Musk to tweet that, you know why the Jeffrey Epstein files are not released? Because Trump is in it. That's what he said. So there's always a problem with the establishment. Now Trump doesn't want to release the tape when everybody, his MAGA, enclave, had thought that he would release the tape. Now everybody's disappointed in him. Anyway, this is the problem with the establishment. This is, I was just pleased also by the reaction from the commissioner, right? The National Commission, Police Commission. Like, I was pleased by the reaction, and I was also pleased by the answer when he was asked about the disbandment of that, that task team that was tasked with solving political teams or trying to get to the bottom of it. He said he didn't know. He was not even appraised of the fact that, or even given a letter that unit will be disbanded. He didn't know. So we are now sure that General Mkhonas was right in many respects. He was right with this issue that the disbandment was illegal. The National Commissioner was not informed. He was right with this illicit communication, right, from Mr. Mohozi and from this other guy, Ket Matlala, talking about the minister, So since that was presented in a form of WhatsApp messages, now we have to find out now from the minister. He has to provide us with the proof that he is not part of any of those people. And also the president also responded positively yesterday. We are good. I think General Mkhonas is enjoying a lot of support from the people that were supposed to, supposed to slaughter him. But now it's apparently getting more support. So anyway, guys, now I just want us to look at that other case that the Meyiwa trial was, in fact, that other day when the Meyiwa trial was on, and then this was when Gininda was talking about, in fact, Advocate Muniz was questioning him about this, and then he wanted to know about this thing of the connection between Kelly Khumalo and accused number 5, and then the mastermind thing, right? So we're just going to take a listen to that, a little bit of that, and then we're going to react to that, and then give some shout outs, and then I'll be off. Let's take a listen, and then you can comment there and tell me what you guys think about what has gone with. Okay, Mbali saying, I wonder why Mam Kize was never arrested for keeping this illegal farm. Yeah, man, like if you're connected to the government somehow, scot-free. That's how it happens. You're going to get away scot-free. There's going to be nobody, after you trying to find out what happened and blah blah. No. If you got some cash, you can pay your way around. Let's check it out. Also, just an interesting fact, all right? Since we are here sharing things, I just want us to check this. The identity of Brigadier Gininda. This is just a short preface. I want you to look at these fingers, right, of this guy behind the mask. Just look at these fingers. Take a good look at them, and then now compare to these fingers that are of Brigadier Boyki Gininda, who is the Acacia, who was the Acacia station commander. look at the fingers, like look at the round ass fingers at the front. They are kind of round here, thick, and then the nails are cut deep. Just look at them. Anyway, that's just out of interest. Now let's go to the case.
Yeah, you were saying?
So yesterday when we adjourned, there was an aspect that had to be verified by playing the record of the proceedings. I don't know if the record is ready to be played back.
What are we verifying, by the way?
Advocate Mnisi put it to the witness, Brigadier Gininda, that the fact of the communication between Ms. Kelly Kumalo
Yeah.
and accused number 5 was used to come to the conclusion that this was a contractual killing. We then made an objection that this question has not been put to the witness, that the witness was busy answering the previous question, which was to the following effect, namely, the proposition was that there was a challenge regarding Colonel Stein's evidence regarding the call between accused number 5 and Ms. Kelly Kumalo. And the witness was in the process of answering that, So we objected and said he was still in the process of answering this first question. So it had to be verified as to whether Advocate Mnisi did ask this question, namely, whether the fact of the communication between Ms. Kelly Kumalo and accused number 5 was used to come to the conclusion that this was a contractual killing. So the record had to be played to verify if that question was put to the witness.
Yes, Mr. Mnisi, do you recall the evidence to be like that? Oh, what's your recollection?
My lord, this whole issue actually started when the witness, when I actually asked the witness what other information was actually used to come to the conclusion that this was a hit. He mentioned, amongst others, the communication. He actually mentioned that in terms of his investigation, there were calls that were made between Kelly Kumalo and accused number 5. Then I said to him, could this then have been used as one of the fact to show that this was a hit? Then that is when he started to elaborate. He included the testimony of Brigadier Stein and the downloads. At some stage, he touched on accused number 3, who had plastic bags in his phone which were downloaded, accused and Kelly and Longwe, and then he went on and on. At some stage, I actually stopped him at a time when he wanted to explain to the court what downloads are or something like that, and then I said, no, but that's not your terrain. It has already been explained by the expert. And at some stage, the court also make mention of an XDS system. But that was almost 15 minutes after I posed the first question, and then the court said, no, let us then go to the...
So what are we checking?
We are checking, my lord. We are checking whether did I actually suggest to the witness that the alleged cell phone contact between accused number 5 and Kelly Kumalo, could that have constituted a basis of the fact that this was therefore a contractual killing.
Is that what you are checking?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Mr. Brigadier, what are we checking?
I can just further add, Malo, just to try and explain that Brigadier was busy explaining as to how the evidence from the handset of Ms. Kelly Kumalo was retrieved. That's when Advocate Nisi then interjected and said, but that's not the question that I asked you. And we objected and said, the witness is still answering the initial question and that this second question hasn't been asked.
Yes. But what are we checking?
So we are checking as to whether this second question
Was asked.
was asked. In other words, whether the fact that there was communication between Ms. Kelly Kumalo and accused number 5, or whether the communication between Ms. Kelly Kumalo and accused number 5 was used to come to the conclusion that this was a contractual killing. So we're checking as whether that question was asked.
Okay, let's ask the Brigadier. What are we?
My name is Hulisani Madao, Director for Innovative Processing Solutions. After
What are we checking, sir?
Yeah, my lord, what I recall yesterday is that it was put to me, and this is my recollection, it was said to me, and that is by Advocate Mnisi, that there seems to be discrepancies or issues with the testimony of Kenneth Stein insofar as the linkages. And that was the context. And then the court then asked that can I comment, because I was able to discuss or to engage with him insofar as the DNA is concerned. So then I started explaining, my lord, kicking from that point to say during the course of my investigation, and I was going to say what convinced me that I didn't see anything wrong with the investigation of Kenneth Stein. That is why I went to the handset of Kelly Kumalo State first, indicated where do you find the number, and I indicated that it's in her statement. I went to the details that links that number to her. Then I went to the downloadings. Then I went to accused number 5, where I said in his profile you find that number and the number of bank statements that we did, as well as the traffics. So then I moved to accused number 3, because then I was dealing with the issue of saying, my lord, it is not, and it was not only the cell phone communication between Ms. Kelly Kumalo and accused number 5 that we started on when it came to what informed me. What was put to me by Advocate Mnisi was whether did I only rely on the confessions of accused number 1 and 2, because I referred to that to say it is contained there that the trigger point is Ms. Kelly Kumalo. Then I said in addition to that, that is where now I was going to the communication between Ms. Kelly Kumalo and accused number 5. Then I was extending that to say in addition to that, there is this see-through bag of money that is found in Ms. Kelly Kumalo's phone, Longwe Twala, and accused number 3. And that is where now I think the whole objection from Advocate Mnisi started. But the essence, I was answering him to say, it is not only the confessions, there were additional information that came up that gave, because I was answering that question, that what convinced me or informed me that this was a contractual killing as it's contained in my statement.
It is clear from Gininda's explanation that there was no need for this stoppage that happened during that day in court. There was no need, because that question was asked. Obviously, it's the matter to explain that's difficult for Gininda and Baloi. It's hard for them to come to that conclusion, simple conclusion that the phone numbers and that alleged connection between Kelly and accused number 5 is the one that says contractual killing. Now he's adding the money back and what, but the money back, I mean, how can you be sure it's like really evidence? Because anybody can download the money back, and then you want me to believe that accused number 3 had that money back in his phone when he was arrested, because it was found in his downloads back in that day. Now, this money back is also found in Kelly Kumalo. phone later. What happened here? Who sent who the money back? And then what was the purpose of the money back? What does it mean if I'm a let's say I'm a mastermind, and then you are the Nkapi, and then am I the one who's gonna send the money back, or you are the one who's gonna send the money back? What is that gonna signify? Like, what's the significance of that? Rubbish. Now we are here now being made to believe that the cell phone evidence, the fabricated cell phone evidence, was the one that made Gininda to come to the conclusion that Kelly is a mastermind. Yet he was not able to, him and Balui, to take a step towards arresting him, although he had prepared the warrant of arrest, right? But Balui didn't want to act on that, and then now he's bringing up the money back, which doesn't really bear any significance. Also, we know that they would like to tell us that accused number 3 was sent some money, but there's really no proof of Kelly Khumalo ever sending money to somebody, because that story that they mentioned back in the days, that Kelly Khumalo was owing somebody some money, some Machonisa some money, and then she was in trouble for that. You remember Gininda saying that. Where did that story end? Since now we are at the end of the state's case, I was thinking that they are going to bring now that person who's going to put egg on our face as the people who are, like, supporting the defense, or I can say just viewing the case objectively. I was thinking that is what's going to be the egg on my face, that they're going to bring this person who's going to come up with the receipts, and then probably the Machonisa himself, and say, no, Kelly borrowed on the 15th, or on the, I think the event happened on the 27th, 26th. Okay, now on the 15th of October, Kelly came and borrowed some 150 grand or 250 grand or whatever amount, which is significant to match whatever Gininda was mentioning in the statement, or whatever the accused was mentioning in the confessions. Now, I was thinking that was going to be the egg on my face. That was going to be the day that I say, yeah, something needs to be considered there. But no. We're at the end of the state's case, and that witness, it doesn't seem like he or she's going to be coming through. This is what we are used to from the state. Now let's greet my people. Let me greet my people, and then read the comments at the same time. Sekhamogotla says, I also took note of those nails. Yes, that hand is really unique. Like, anyway, I'm still looking. I'll try to get the. In fact, we really need a video of him speaking to match that voice and the face. Now, Mbali says, Absalom Zungu also needs protection. He is the one that could end this trial against the accused before Rata's court. Yeah, he is, but I suppose with Rata's attitude, I don't think so. Rata probably won't even allow him to court, since the state has not called him. But I just hope that the defense take heed to what Sispet and Jabs was saying, then they call him through, so that he can come and put the egg on the face of the state, right? And then surprisingly, that's Sekhamogotla is saying, surprisingly, Rata lost it on Advocate Mnisi. Asked when they could visit, okay, the Spaza house, while it was Baloi who asked it first and mentioned, and Rata never said anything at that moment. Yeah, Rata, like, he has got a grudge ever since that comrade spat that happened during the time that the Advocate Minister was applying for the I think he still got a quarrel from that. He still got a quarrel. He still got some grudge from that. Now, Tando Machobani, my king, what's up? Say good evening, kings and queens. What's up, my king? Let's like the life, please. He's giving us that. Thank you, my king. Thank you for jogging them up. Yeah, but I think the likes are up. I see the people are liking the live. Now, you know, Rata is not shy to show us that he's for the state. But I'm just hoping that Zungu, Absalom Zungu, comes through and put egg on their face. We are going to be happy about that. Trust me, we are going to be happy about that. That will be significant. That will be very significant because now Gininda won't have anywhere to run to. But these people, they are always thinking on their feet. Trust me, something will come up. Something's going to come up. Something will come up. Anyway, guys, that was a nice live. I didn't want to take too much of the time. As long as we got together, at least I did 30 minutes with you. I'm happy that I was able to check out my people. Guys, before I go, please like the live. Please like the subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell so that when we drop more content like this, you are in the loop. Also, tell me in the comments which area of this Meyiwa case would you like us to revisit so that we can recheck which evidence is which. I still remember that Matlala lied to us about his crutches being taken somewhere when they were not taken somewhere. You still remember that? Right. So there's a whole lot of things. We still remember the problem with the gunshots, the number of gunshots that the people in the house themselves don't agree on. There's a whole lot of problems with this case. So thank you guys for popping to the live. Tell me what you think in the comments. Not in the live comments, in the comments section of the real video of the live after the video drop. Comment section, then tell me what do you suggest we talked about. We check out. Let me check. Busitando says, Busitando Machowani, that's my king. He says, when the trial resumes, we will be watching the demeanor of the judge and the prosecutor. They will be very sad. Obviously, at this moment, they're having sleepless nights, thinking about what. I'm definitely sure that they are watching the Masterminds channel. I'm definitely sure, or their spies are. So somebody is giving them a heads up already. So they are probably in KwaZulu-Natal now, doing that one over the speed limit that Mohana was doing, looking for Absalom Zungu or trying to find out if they can access him. The way he did when, as soon as the doctor was mentioned by Advocate Mgomezulu, you remember that there was a doctor who treated Longwetwala. Oh my God, as soon as that came out, he went straight to those local hospitals, tried to find out where the doctor went. So I assume the same is happening at this moment. So guys, please, thank you for popping in. Thank you for liking the live. I see the views nearly match the lives, the likes. So thank you guys. And then Bali says, Busitanda, that day is my birthday. I will be looking at them. Oh, thank you. Happy birthday in advance, Valley. Thank you for guys for popping in. And yeah, that thing about the general when I was Busitanda Machowan, General Mkwanazi commented that there was a very corrupt brigadier. Yeah, they're talking about it. And I think somehow there's a connection with that actress of Movango, who I think is some soapy, who passed away, who was shot. There's some connection with these guys. So there's a whole lot of things happening here. You see how General Sibiya was diverting when he was being asked questions, even at times contradicting himself. It tells you a lot. He has a trail of not being trustworthy, even though he's put in positions of trust. but he has established that record. He has tried to sue. I think probably still on trying to sue his pet, Mashali. I don't know what happened to that case where he's trying to sue that lady. And then he has appeared on that documentary, right? Do you remember the documentary on Netflix? And then it has appeared in the court records that somehow he had some things to do with what was happening there. So anyway, guys, people are going to, this is the year where revelations are going to happen. People are going to, if you're working for the devil, it's not good for you. If you've got the negative intentions, you are not working for the good of the country. I hope you just find a way to turn that around, because there will be people who will be trying to build a better country in SA. There will be many people. The people who are just trying to be rich and enrich themselves and harm whoever gets in their way. There are many. They are there, but they are not really making the masses of the country, because the masses of the people are not really that rich as everybody, as those people who are gunning for everything and trying to get money and killing everything in their path. The masses are just normal people. These are the people who put politicians in their seats. And Ramaphosa is right to do whatever he's doing, because if he doesn't do it, the ANC has to be aware of the position that they're in. They are now in position because of the help of the GUNE. If they don't consider that, there's going to be problems for them. So anyway, guys, thank you for popping in. Mbali say thank you, Royal family. Thank you, Royalty. Enjoy your birthday when it comes to. My brother tried to speak a little louder. Yeah, man. Hey, you will have to increase the volume there. I'm gone. Right. Thank you guys for popping in. Thank you for checking the live out. And then please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that when we drop more content like this, you are in the loop. I don't know how to shout, my brother. You just have to turn out the volume on your phone a little bit. Peace. I'm out.